We are exploring Thomas J. Stanley's book, The Millionaire Next Door, a study that profiles ordinary Americans who quietly build real wealth through restraint, planning, and steady habits. Stanley shows that visible affluence often hides financial weakness, while true wealth stays hidden in plain sight. He divides people based on how they turn income into net worth, showing the gap between under-accumulators of wealth and prodigious accumulators of wealth. Under-accumulators spend to display success, often living beyond their means, while prodigious accumulators live below their means and focus on building assets. A defining habit of the millionaire next door is calm frugality, choosing value and durability over flash and prestige. They buy reliable used cars, avoid luxury upgrades, and spend on things that support long-term goals instead of impressing others. Budgeting and tracking expenses are not burdens, but systems. That turns small savings into big advantages over time. They treat every dollar saved as an active investment, directing capital toward businesses, rental properties, and long-term portfolios. Ownership is key because owning income-producing assets is what creates compounding wealth. Time management matters just as much as money. And many self-made millionaires choose paths that allow control and reinvestment. Stanley warns about lifestyle inflation, the quiet trap that grows spending to match income and kills the ability to save. He also points to economic outpatient care. When parents keep financially supporting grown children, weakening their drive to succeed, millionaire families often teach thrift, patience, and discipline, creating habits that build generational advantage. Marriage choices matter because shared values about money strengthen long-term success and prevent reckless decisions. Most avoid consumer debt completely, using loans only when they build equity or income. They understand taxes and protect capital through smart legal planning. To them, wealth means freedom and security, not status or validation. They live quietly, work steadily, and keep control of their money. They use conservative strategies to protect capital through downturns. Stanley's findings prove that income alone never guarantees wealth. Simple living, consistent saving, and smart investing create stronger results than chasing luxury or trends. If you want to follow the millionaire next door mindset, focus on ownership, discipline, and patience. Control your spending, grow your assets, and let compounding do the rest. Most millionaires understand that wealth is built slowly through consistent behavior, not sudden luck or viral success. They focus on predictable income, controlled expenses, and assets that grow without constant supervision. The secret lies in patience and perspective, not hidden formulas or complex investments. They see saving as an act of strength, not sacrifice, because it represents freedom of choice in the future. When everyone else spends to feel rich, they save to become rich. They understand that social status is temporary, but financial independence lasts for generations. Millionaires next door often manage their own finances directly, rarely delegating all control to advisors or brokers. They study contracts, understand cash flow statements, and make decisions based on long-term outcomes. They prefer boring, predictable returns over emotional excitement. They keep their money in productive assets, reinvest profits, and let compounding handle the heavy lifting. They do not gamble with their net worth for short-term gains. This restraint builds a quiet kind of confidence that doesn't need validation. The data shows that many self-made millionaires came from middle-class or even modest backgrounds, proving that income level alone is not destiny. What matters most is how effectively money is managed once it arrives. They practice delayed gratification, often choosing security over instant comfort. They also make decisions as families, not individuals, discussing long-term goals and aligning spending habits across generations. Education, discipline, and self-awareness become their greatest investments. They read financial reports, study taxes, and stay curious about markets instead of relying on luck or speculation. Even leisure is approached with balance, often low-cost and purpose-driven rather than impulsive. When they do spend, it's on experiences or tools that improve quality of life without destabilizing finances. They track net worth as a guide, not as an obsession. Knowing that consistent progress matters more than perfection, they avoid comparing themselves to others. because comparison fuels unnecessary consumption. The Millionaire Next Door mindset is about focus, ownership, and endurance. It is not glamorous, but it is liberating, offering real freedom in a world obsessed with appearances. Wealth, as Stanley discovered, is not how much you make, but how little you need to spend to keep control over your own life. Millionaires Next Door often focus on habits that quietly build lasting wealth. They control expenses, save consistently, and invest in assets that produce income over time. They live below their means and resist lifestyle inflation even as earnings grow. Every dollar saved is treated as a tool for future opportunity rather than a temporary reward. They prefer practical purchases, focusing on value and durability over flashy trends. They carefully plan major expenses and delay upgrades until they are financially sensible. Unlike many high earners who look rich but carry debt, they accumulate real assets like businesses, real estate, and diversified investments. Confidence comes from stability and control, not public recognition or approval. Autonomy is central. They structure work and life so they can make decisions without financial pressure. Most did not inherit wealth, but built it steadily through disciplined saving and strategic investing. They avoid gambling with money, quick schemes, or emotional financial decisions. Steady growth and consistency are prioritized over risky attempts to get rich fast. They emphasize passing on financial literacy and habits to their children to create generational wealth. Money is discussed openly at home as a tool, not a source of shame or secrecy. They protect against lifestyle creep, ensuring that rising income does not lead to unnecessary spending. When income increases, they save, reinvest, or pay off obligations rather than inflate lifestyle. This steady accumulation of advantages compounds into lasting financial freedom. Behavior and discipline matter far more than income alone. With 80% of wealth outcomes driven by consistent habits, they build systems that prioritize long-term security over short-term status. Intentional living, measured actions, and long-term planning define their approach. Financial independence, not social validation, guides their decisions. The Millionaire Next Door mindset shows that quiet, disciplined choices create real and enduring wealth. The final lesson from Stanley's Millionaire Next Door is that building real wealth is a slow and deliberate process. Millionaires Next Door focus on steady accumulation, living below their means, and reinvesting every surplus dollar into income-producing assets. They avoid the trap of instant gratification, resisting the urge to spend on flashy items or luxury that does not add lasting value. Each financial decision is weighed for its long-term impact, not immediate satisfaction, because they understand that wealth compounds quietly over decades. They protect their income and assets carefully, using sensible risk management, diversification, and conservative leverage to safeguard against setbacks. Even leisure and lifestyle choices are intentional. They choose experiences and purchases that enhance life without destabilizing finances. And they do not succumb to peer pressure or social comparison. They measure success not by how much they appear to have, but by how much financial control and freedom they maintain. Family and generational planning is central. They pass on knowledge, habits, and expectations to children, teaching delayed gratification, discipline, and the value of earning, saving, and investing wisely. Marriage and partnerships are also approached with shared financial values in mind, ensuring alignment and reinforcing long-term stability. The data shows that many millionaires come from ordinary or modest backgrounds. Income alone does not create wealth. It is the consistent practice of discipline, patience, frugality, and strategic investment that separates the financially independent from those who only appear wealthy. Stanley emphasizes that wealth is more behavior than knowledge. Being consistent, intentional, and emotionally disciplined drives outcomes, far more than chasing trends or high salaries. They live intentionally, plan for the long term, and build systems that ensure money grows while they maintain control. Every choice is part of a bigger strategy to create independence and security, avoiding risks that could erode years of effort. The Millionaire Next Door mindset is not glamorous or flashy. It does not seek approval or validation from others. Instead, it focuses on quiet control, measured growth, and freedom that lasts a lifetime. Applying these principles requires patience, self-awareness, and restraint, but the rewards are real and lasting. Even small changes in spending habits, consistent savings, and thoughtful investments can compound into substantial wealth over time if practiced faithfully. If you follow the lessons of the Millionaire Next Door, you can achieve financial independence, protect your capital, and create opportunities for yourself and your family that extend far beyond your own lifetime. Like and subscribe for more practical guides on building wealth, mastering your finances, and creating a life of real freedom and control.